sack. Look like climb high into the sky. Just don't leave with this guy. You will die. At least a couple times you die. But try again, you gotta try. Come on, y'all, if you're a little sick, you'll find panties and lipstick. But do it quick, there's no time. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Cause you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go down into the cave now. You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go down into the cave now. Gotta put the doc in his place, hope you save curly brace. Cause alone it's a case of the blues. So pack it all tight in your little inventory. Get ready for the glory of Cave Story. You gotta go, you gotta go.
Strolling down the street, the square street, a fair sheet of squares sleep below my feet. Creepers, what they call me, but even I see that all of this beauty can fill me with such glee. Look at this tall tree, it's nature's majesty. Would it be so bad if someone blew the f*** out of it? The sweet pig here, alone walking around. He has the perfect face for getting ripped from the inside f***ing out!
Hey, Mr. Creeper.
What?
There's no need for that kind of language.
Yo!
The only effort is fun. Life's even sweeter without explosions. Minecraft is for everyone. Hooray! Let's all be nice today. Everyone is at play. There's no need to blow them away. Oh, hi! Let's go help those two guys build a house that...
No, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
If you got a curse, say the word fudge. Sadly, no one will judge.
Stop!
No more exploding or cursing. No one else has to die. Okay?
I'll try.
Okay, we're off to a bad start, but that's fine.
I'm on a nice kick. I'll make some friends quick. I don't have many because everyone's a huge deal. I have to admit, I just might lose it. Having to give up my favorite things is funky ball shrimp! Man, it's hard not to be mean.
Hey guys, do you need help writing lyrics?
No! You don't know anything about Minecraft music.
But I'm not.
More like Nacho Song! Oh, sugar snap peas, I went there!
Tee-hee! You're so happy and free. Let's clear away the debris from all the ruined lives of your killing spree. It's fun! Be nice to someone or leave you nothing a ton.
You know what? Why don't you kneel down and kiss my creepy...
Fun! This is so much love and magic and rapture. Hearts will be captured.
Monkey fighting glass ball
Hello and welcome once again to the Omega Republic, the place of furries, bronies, and everything else in between here on YouTube. The YouTubes, the one place where we can tubes and use. And yes, we are all happy to be here tonight. We are getting ourselves together here as we go through another wonderful tier list here on the Omega Republic. Hopefully everyone is doing well this evening. Alrighty, let's get right into it, shall we? Tonight's tier list will be sleeping positions and school subjects. Something that I don't think we're going to have too tough of a time agreeing or disagreeing. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. We shall see. Let me go ahead and I'll get this off of here. I shall hop into our Discord and see who is available for tonight. Let me make sure that I have the chat. I do have the chat up and going. So, let's get right into it, shall we? Let me get this fixed a little bit so you don't have to look at that. No. Hold on, I gotta figure out which layer it is. There we go. There. Now you don't have to see the browser thing at the top. It's kind of annoying. Anyways, let me hop into our Discord and see how everyone is this evening. Stand by for chaos.
Mike, there you go. Okay, it's unmuted now, but still sounding like you're far,
Then-
far away.
I am.
It was echoing. Zeravina's mic.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay, there we go. Now I can hear you.
Wonderful.
what is going on with my settings here? Okay, this is going to get on my nerves.
Did you get a new headset?
Can't hear us.
Yeah, Seraphina
That's the
can't
problem.
hear us.
Oh,
Well, we can hear him, but we can hear them, but they can't hear us. So yeah, they've been having issues since before we even started.
I can't hear anybody.
Yes, we know. Holy crap, the echo.
right.
And to
hopefully-
answer the question, no, I did not get a new headset. I am listening to the video, so I can try and hear you semi.
That's where it's
You're-
coming from.
it's going to be difficult to do that because the only way this is going to work is if you go ahead and mute yourself in Discord so we don't get a feedback loop. I know that's going to take a couple seconds to get to you, though.
Yep.
And to answer the question,
There it is.
So weird. It's like, wait a minute, I'm getting a serious sense of deja vu over here. I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out.
A couple seconds to get to you, though.
okay. Actually, you say the whole thing with Discord, but the thing is, I'm gonna try and fix it so I can hear you guys.
Well,
Give
in the
me a few
meantime, could you
moments,
please
please.
mute yourself? Thank you. Thank you. I know you muted yourself before I even said it, but thank you. Anyways, so I wanted to keep things kind of simple and short tonight. There were a couple different tier lists I thought about us doing, but I'm thinking with this group, it'll take us several hours to do that. So I wanted to go a little bit smaller on the tier list tonight, but we're doing two. The first one we are doing is, of course, the sleeping positions tier list.
All of them.
Right now, we have always, often, it happens, never, and weird. So, I mean, I think that's a fair balance of options, don't you?
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Let me go ahead. I will share my screen. That way there is no delay. I'm going to put it at 15 frames a second because this is not animated. So, there. There.
The last one should be what the hell? That should be the last tier. What the hell?
I mean, weird is good enough, I think, for that.
Holy crap! How? Today's episode has been brought to you.
Today's episode has been brought to you by the letter.
No, that's a Sesame Street thing. Don't pull that up.
No.
Today. No. We aren't doing letters. That's Sesame Street or Kids for Kids stuff. This is an adult show, so today's episode has been brought to you by Genatonic.
I was gonna.
No, I got a better one. Vada Genatonic. A non-alcoholic beverage that will never be sold anywhere near you. And coming this Christmas, vodka Genatonic eggnog. And non-alcoholic eggnog being sold never.
And the number.
Sure, why not?
My brain just tuned back in. What were we talking about?
Vodka Genatonic.
We were talking
non-
about mutated Teletubbies that all have the face of Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye.
That's actually a very scary nightmare.
Yep.
Now I'm not going to sleep tonight. Thanks. The mutated Teletubbies with famous game players online. Yeah, it's over. I'm not sleeping tonight.
Okay, out of curiosity, have you seen any of the animations done by Meat Canyon?
Yep.
Probably. It's just I'm not. It's probably not clicking, but I don't want to even know now.
You watch them, you never forget.
Like I say, I've probably seen it. It's just the name isn't clicking with said video.
Well, okay. They did one of PewDiePie, and PewDiePie is like a very bony, skinny, mutated
I know
hermit.
who PewDiePie is.
No. I'm telling you what they did in the animation.
Dude, I've watched so many things with PewDiePie and other, game players where somebody's taken their face and done it with something. I'm not going to remember it. You're not going to help. It's not going to help. I've watched so many videos with them in it, their voices, their faces, stuck on something, plastered. Whatever you're going to tell me, it's not going to ring a bell. It'd be something I would have to rewatch to actually, oh yeah, this one.
Right.
Because otherwise, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Don't spoil it for everybody else.
Well, I forget I forget why we was leading on to. Oh, the whole Teletubbies thing. That's right.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Mutated Teletubbies is already scary. Have you ever noticed how? What's the last one like? This last one's name's like Poe or something. Because I always noticed it was picking like the last one line was always picking out the crack of the third one's butt, and I never could figure out why. They're like hopping across the screen. He's always picking at the crack, and I'm like, holy crap! What's wrong with this kid? So,
fuck the PC. I'm just doing this on my phone.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. I guess I just need to do some technical difficulty later thing with Bob to get your thing fixed. Anyways, getting right into it. Sleeping positions. We all have
my PC decided to update. That's why, because like updating system. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm doing this on my phone.
All right. But anyways, sleeping positions. We all have our favorite sleeping position. We have our least favorite sleeping position. We all have that certain temperature that we look for whenever we're sleeping. But this isn't about temperature. It's about positions. And we're not talking about football positions, like the halfback, quarterback, frontliner, blocking.
What the heck is a frontliner?
I want to be the linebacker.
Still don't know what the heck a frontliner is. You mean like an offensive? You mean like a lineman?
I should have known better than to say that around somebody who is really into football.
And then when you say a lineman, which side, offense or defense? Because there's both. Okay, guys, a new position in football, a frontliner. I don't know how many of them there are or what play they're used in, but they're called a frontliner from now on.
Oh dear. Anyways,
There's usually 5 of them. 2 tackles, 2 guards in the center. The center dude is who's holding the ball every play.
I'm gonna be back to get my headphones.
Mm-hmm.
2 lose. Or as Lupin the Third would say, toodles. Toodles.
You done?
So, frontliners.
Okay.
This is
let's-
another thing you're never going to live
all right.
down.
Instead of sleeping positions, we're going to talk about hockey positions because I know nothing about hockey positions.
I don't know anything about hockey, but I know there's a goalie, and that's about it. So, see, that's all I know about hockey. I've watched hockey games maybe 4 times. Like, actually seriously watched it 4 times. Not including the time I was at one live, but I've watched it maybe 4 times. Otherwise, I could care less. It's like, oh, look, it's hockey. What's on the BET channel? What's on CMT right now? I hate country music. What's on CMT?
Reba
There's something
McEntire.
country.
Reba McEntire. There we go.
No,
I had to
I
think
don't,
for just a minute.
I don't want to watch Reba either, to be perfectly honest. It's not, no. No thanks.
What about
I
Dolly
will still
Parton?
change- Still will change the channel. I'll get to CMT, I'll get to BET, I'll still say, I don't care about anything country pretty much.
Tim
And
McGraw,
I'm not,
Charlie Daniels.
I'm not African American, so none of this interests me. Let's see what's on, like, you know. Let's see what's on Cartoon Network. Let's see what nonsensical dribble I can fill my head with. And then I find out it's some stupid reincarnation of an actual good show like Be Cool Scooby Doo, where the animation is crap. I'm like, this is exactly what they did to DuckTales. This is sad. And then I remember, oh wait, I don't have cable or satellite or anything like this. I have streaming services where I can choose what I want to watch. So much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like recently I've been watching Monk. Monk is a fantastic show. Any of you who disagree are wrong. That's all I have to say about it. Oh, and if a lot of people who don't know about Monk, It's a Jungle Out There is only the theme song from the 2nd season onward. The 1st season, totally different song. People think they know Monk. They don't know what they're talking about.
You done?
I'm never done, but yes.
Anyways, so we're going to get right into the tier list. We're going to see what the first one is up here. So we have the sleeping position. Let's see what happens when I zoom in just a little bit. At some point when I zoom in, the ads become a problem. Yeah, like right there. I hate it. I really do hate it. But I'm not buying a stupid subscription to get rid of the ads. Anyways, the first
I
position
can't
we...
even find my headphones, so forget it.
Anyways, the first position we have is blankets completely over you. I mean, you got nothing except, you know, your hands holding the top of the covers, pulled over, pretty much like you're a scared little bitch from the boogeyman.
Who the fudge puts the hands top? Dude, I bring that. A lot of times, this is often, not always, but often I sleep. My arms are also under the covers. That thing is pulled up to the chin.
I mean, I like to breathe. Pulling the covers over me, it feels like I'm, you know, kind of.
I didn't say
I
anything
get
about-
claustrophobic real easily.
I did not say anything about pulling the covers over me. I just bring it up to the chin. Nice and comfy and cozy.
Well, we're talking about this specific position, where you're pretty much it's gonna be you laying on your back, with the covers pulled completely over top of you, pretty much like if you were doing this Dutch oven style.
They don't have the position on here that I actually sleep in.
We'll get to that here in just a minute. But I mean, for me, this position, I wouldn't exactly say it's weird, but I would never be in it.
I sleep in it sometimes. I can't. Sometimes I just want to pass out, but I have enough time to get cozy, and that's the cozy position. That's me personally. So it's often for me.
So this particular position would be often.
Often, or it happens for me personally.
Lavender?
I'd say never. You never catch me freaking powering under the covers. I know they don't protect me.
I mean,
Hey,
if the
that's not
boogeyman's going to
true.
come for you, the boogeyman's going to come for you.
Not if you're under the covers, he isn't. And heck, I have a picture of Chuck Norris above my bed. The boogeyman runs away.
Yeah, you can try. And leave a
No,
warrant.
no, the picture of Chuck Norris scares away the boogeyman. That's all I gotta say. You know, some people check under the bed for boogeyman. Boogeyman checks under his bed for Chuck Norris. So, not even trying
Boogeyman does
to,
not like Chuck
Well,
Norris.
not even trying to make a joke. It's what happens. Just the truth. Truth be told, Chuck Norris. If Chuck Norris is anywhere not on planet Earth, he's under the bed of the boogeyman.
So where do you stand on this, Serafina?
Since it's not actually when I was younger, maybe, but now what I kind of do when I sleep is I do kind of a burrito thing. I just like cover myself up. It's not like out of fear or anything. I just kind of do it because I like to be comfortable. So, yeah, I guess for this one, I'd say be often, even though because it's the closest thing to how I do it.
So 2 nevers, 2 oftens, it happens would be the correct place to put it.
It's close to how I sleep, but it's not actually because I burrito myself up and just kind of be comfortable. I like to be comfortable when I sleep.
I think we all like to be comfortable when we sleep.
I don't understand the people that can sleep without a blanket when it's like winter.
Oh, I've done that before. Pretty easy, actually.
You make yourself really, really tired, and then you can't do anything.
Yeah,
you're
but you
so
freeze.
tired, don't care.
You don't care. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Your body's like, I'm tired. I can care less if I'm warm or not. Screw it. Screw it.
Yeah, and then
Like a light.
I wonder why people get sick a lot in the wintertime.
Oh, that has nothing to do with it.
No, there are.
Because people wash their hands with snow rather than water. There's like, hey, if hot water can kill germs, super cold
Healthcare
water.
has become disconnected. At Johnson & Johnson,
Freeze your
we
hands
want
up.
to restore it. And the answer is in those two simple words.
What the
Health
We
and
haven't
care.
had.
Connecting the best
We
of
got-
both to deliver
we haven't had-
innovations for patients.
Where is that
Yeah.
ad
Solutions
coming from?
that are personal. Advanced treatments for today,
No.
unlocking cures of tomorrow.
There it is. There it is. The plot.
Ad alert! Ad alert!
How? What the hell? That's
They-
never
they-
happened
they-
before.
They heard what I said at the beginning that this episode was sponsored by Vonage and Tonic.
Tier list maker, come on! We're trying to advertise you, and you advertise the out of everything.
Here's pictures of your grandma's feet.
Ah, gosh. Anyways, what the heck were we talking about now? I totally lost my train of thought.
Sleeping.
Sleeping in winter.
Oh yeah, washing your hands with. Oh yeah, and then we got an ad for COVID or whatever this is supposed to be up here. Washing your hands with snow. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. So we have this particular position. You don't even
Even on
use
the
the
bed?
pillow, and you're just hanging off the bed, kind of. I feel like this is what you do as a baby.
I feel this is what happens when you're drunk. If you can actually make it to the bed, half drunk, and then you pass out right that way. The only other place you're gonna wake up drunk is, huddled next to the toilet. So, I mean, it's one or the other. I figure that's the drunk position, that you actually made it to the bed, either after, driving home drunk and hopefully killing nobody, or, you actually got your, lazy butt off of the bathroom floor after getting hammered.
You're not even on the bed. You're like, you put your arm on the bed and you put half your side on the bed, but the rest of you is just kind of.
Or maybe this is supposed to be a, how you murder somebody position. You shot him and then you threw him on the bed, and you're like, man, that's one heavy son of a gun, and you're just like, screw it, they're halfway on the bed, they're fine. Maybe we'll find them in the morning, scream at the top of her lungs, and then there'll be a crime scene, and nobody will know what happened because you're already long gone. Housekeeping.
I'm just trying to think how the heck did you guys get murder from this?
I
Dude,
just got. You didn't even hit the bed. You just like,
how
ow.
did you get murder? You shot the dude. He's dead. So it's like, dude, I'm gonna throw him on the bed, cover him up with the cover, so it'll take longer to find him, and I can screw up the evidence. But he's like 300 pounds heavier, and you're like, screw it, I'm gonna get him as much on the bed as I can, and you missed half the bed. He landed the rest of them on the bed.
Majority of bed.
but
You
that
didn't even
other
miss
half-
half of his majority.
But that other half of him just didn't land on the bed. It's just like, screw it, I'm not gonna deal with it. He's like 370 pounds. I'm a strong 195-pound man over here. Screw it. I got him halfway on the bed. It's good enough. And the pillow is just there because it's a pillow.
Well, one thing
What was that?
they're using their arm. They're sleeping on their arm rather than the pillow. I'm sorry. After about 20 minutes, that arm's gonna be numb. I'm sorry, but
Not if it's a dead person.
well, that's true. Yeah, if you're
If it's a
dead.
murder person, if
body's
it's a
numb
murder
at that point.
person, my whole case makes a lot more sense.
What was
I
that
still-
one tier that again? Copper at the very bottom.
And I don't know if they're actually.
Honestly, that would probably be best suited for this.
I don't know if they're actually sleeping on their arm. I don't know if they're actually asleep at all. Maybe their head's down there and they're just trying to, see if their deodorant's still working after 24 hours.
It would be so uncomfortable.
Maybe they're not even on the bed. Maybe they're under the bed. Maybe this
I'm
is an
saying-
X-ray vision of under the bed, and we just see the pillow is still on the bed, and they're just they're getting ready to crawl up onto the mattress to get who's ever up there.
It happened in
You
the
sleeping under the bed. I can't even do that with my bed.
sleeping like that looks like it's like somebody that would be sleeping from the other dimension. Like that's how the girl from The Ring sleeps or something. I don't know.
You see, they're half monkey.
Really,
They're kind of
'cause-
hanging off the edge with their
No,
left arm,
don't-
and they're like
don't-
they're getting ready to just leap onto the top of the mattress, waiting for their victim to lay
A
down.
monkey?
Monkey.
It's not a monkey. Where's the tail?
This
He's got a
this
tail.
this is the tail. This is the tail, and we just don't see the other leg.
Bull crap.
This is his tail, and this is his cock.
I'm still thinking 100% that that's something that happens when you're drunk. You fall partially on
Objection,
the
Your
bed.
Honor. Nuh-uh.
Okay. You pass out plastered or hammered or however you want to do it, and that's just how you get up. And when you wake up, you're like, man, I have the worst case of hangover possible. And I didn't even make it onto the bed.
Okay.
Damn it, I'm hammered.
Okay, so we're gonna call this one the boogeyman tuck, and we're gonna call this one the murder scene. Okay?
We're naming them now.
Or we can call it plastered out of your mind. Because that's what I see. I still see plastered.
Okay, now we have this
The weird part
one.
is the leg, because it's like the leg is sitting on the ground, like the foot is flat against the floor. Because look how that leg is turned. It's like it's bent at the knee. What the hell? Like the foot is on the floor, flat on the floor. It's like got there. you started to crawl into bed and you fell asleep halfway through and just fell in, your foot's on the floor.
Well, you're just like in a half fetal position, maybe. You're like,
No, fetal position is what you're supposed to do when you are hammered and pass out on the bathroom floor. This is not a bathroom. This is supposed to be it's supposed to be a bed.
What is that other thing on the bed with the
The
pillow?
pillow. The square thing
yeah.
is a pillow. So
I-
it's supposed to symbolize a pillow.
I guess it's supposed to
And
be a
the long
pillow.
one, the long one is some sort of pillow thing. It's like another kind of comforter. I had one on my bed. I never used it. It's a pillow that actually extends the entire area of your pillows. Like you got a headboard, you got two pillows, but they're only like half the size of the bed. This one actually extends the entire length of the bed.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. You see, you know how sometimes you want a snack right before bed. That is a
Toblerone.
2-foot long Subway sandwich.
Toblerone. Toblerone in bed. You just gotta.
You know, what? No. We can do better. This is a Jimmy John's sandwich.
The black Smurf penis.
No, it's where you take a in your bed.
That's not good. Why would that? You only do. That's what the last scene is. No, that. I told you. Black Smurf penis.
No, it's a sub. It makes more sense for it to be a sub sandwich because you started eating and you're like, oh, I can't get a bite. You flop out. And you're like, oh,
Who
I'm
the
so
heck
full.
eats a sandwich in bed? I don't eat a sandwich in bed.
All right, all hands raised for anyone who's ever eaten food in bed.
Me.
I didn't say no food.
Uh,
I said sandwich.
I've
I
eaten
don't
a
eat
sandwich
sandwiches in bed. I've eaten food in bed. That's nothing. Sandwich is different. That's one big A sandwich.
You're telling me that you're like you haven't eaten all day, but you're too tired to sit at the table or sit at your desk. So you're like, I'm gonna make me a sandwich and I'm gonna go straight to bed. So you take
I have
a
never.
perfectly good BMT or whatever you're in, or Turkey Club, to your bed, and you just
Turkey
sit there
Club.
and nom on it. You take about 3 bites and you just kind of pass out in the mid eating, because when you wake up,
Never.
then you can eat some more
taken-
sandwich.
I have never taken a sandwich to bed.
I have.
If I have a sandwich, I eat it at a table or at a desk, somewhere so the
taken
crumbs
multiple.
aren't in the bed, so bugs can get at it and live in your bed. I don't want to do that. Now, if it's something else, I mean, I've had cookies in bed. I've had crackers and cheese in bed.
Crackers and cheese.
Well,
You're just
never-
one step away from it being a sandwich.
I've never had a sandwich in bed,
You haven't lived.
and I never will have a sandwich in bed because that's weird. Now, if I'm awake and like lying in bed watching the TV or something or playing a video game, I may have a sandwich, but I'm not sleeping. Because this is a sleeping position that we're talking about. This is not a awake and doing stuff
Yeah,
otherwise than eating.
this is the perfect example of the food coma. If that's a sub sandwich, then this is a food coma position.
That's a sub
Copper.
sandwich. That's the biggest sandwich I've ever seen. Because that's half the size of the guy. I mean, that's twice the size of the dude's leg there.
Hey,
Hey, he
Copper.
was hungry.
Barrel leg.
Yes. What do you want? What you want?
I figured out what went wrong with my audio. It was
You-
synced to my Oculus.
I mean, the dude's wingspan is as long as the sandwich is. Dude, if I have a wingspan, that's like a 6-foot sandwich.
I'm
Okay.
gonna rejoin on my computer.
And it's
You
twice
have
the-
you've never had you've okay. You can honestly say that you've never had like a 4 or 5 foot long hoagie sandwich.
No, I've
Whoa,
never had a
that's-
6-foot
little
long
long.
sandwich.
I'm not
I've
saying
never
in
had
one
a-
sitting. He obviously didn't eat the whole sandwich. He had a couple bites and he's like, "Oh, I can't eat anymore." He sprawled out. He is relaxing
have-
the digestive
I have never
muscles.
I have never hefted a sandwich that is as long as I am. I have never hefted a 2-meter sandwich. Okay? I don't care. I've never hefted a 6'6" sandwich. I've never hefted a 6-foot sandwich. The most sandwich I have ever hefted, it was 18 inches. It was fantastic. But it wasn't also twice the size of my leg.
But keep in mind, there is no real scale here. That could just be an 18-inch sub sitting there. Then we don't know how.
Oh my god.
I like the 16. I like the 6-foot Toblerone much better.
I think it's just the blanket rolled up.
I think it's a 6-foot Toblerone. So
I think it's a sandwich.
We all got our own perspectives.
I'm
Sandwich-
going with sandwich because who hasn't eaten in bed before?
No, I've eaten in bed before, just not a sandwich.
I'm willing to say in this particular position, I'm willing to say it happens. Because you know
Sure, why
what?
not?
Because you know what? Whether or not you're eating something in bed on those hot summer nights, like right now, you're gonna just throw those. You're gonna throw off the blanket and you're just gonna sprawl out and hope the fan will cool you off while you're trying to get some sleep. So you know what? I'm gonna say it happens.
Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, and I fixed my audio issue now when you're talking about sandwiches in bed.
Right? But anyway,
Sandwich.
Cosmic,
Sandwich.
what do you think? Do you think you ever see
Okay.
yourself in this position?
With a sandwich? No.
No,
No, with a
forget about the
sandwich.
sandwich. We're just focus on the position. Don't focus on the black rectangular thing next to it.
Toblerone. Toblerone, yes. Sandwich, no. Sandwich, yes. Sandwich every day. Now, folks, I just want to really get this out quick. There's such thing as a sandwich, which is how most people say it, and then there's a sandwich, SAMICH. Sandwich and a sandwich, totally different. Look it up, figure it out later. Sandwich, no. Sandwich, yes. Toblerone, probably. But if we're gonna take that out, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. I usually don't lie in bed like that with my arms outstretched and my legs in some awkwardly not same stretched out position. Yeah. So maybe, but probably not.
So
But sandwich-
you're on the borderline
Yeah.
between it happens and never then.
Pretty much. Unless sandwich is involved, then sure, why not? Always. If sandwich is involved, always. But without sandwich, since we're cutting that out, I don't think I've ever slept in that position. I've slept like a half position, so it happens, never borderline kind of there. Yeah.
And what do you think about Lavender? What's your opinion on this?
What do you
I've
think
probably
about?
only done this once, and I'd say like I usually get myself ready for bed. I've never been in a position to where I don't pull up the covers or I don't like make my bed more comfortable.
What you think about? I just love,
I'd say never.
still love how Copper phrased it.
And what about you,
What you think
Serafina?
about? What you think about?
Well,
What's
this
up?
was.
Now keep in mind, we're not
done.
going to include the whole sandwich, Toblerone, or whatever else that could be. Eliminate that
no.
from your mind.
No Toblerone. You. No Toblerone for you.
Cosmic, I swear to Luna.
what an argument.
Serafina, your opinion?
Toblerone.
Like I was saying, this position I've never slept in before, but I have laid like this before, and it is extremely uncomfortable. Just like sprawled out in your bed, just like not even on the pillow, really. And, well, the pillow's not in the right spot, but imagine the pillow being where his arm is, and my head just not there, and I'm just kind of laying like this. So, yeah, I go with it happens, but not for sleeping.
Okay. So I think we'll go ahead and leave it in it happens, because there's enough of a percentage there to say it's more than never.
Yeah.
It's borderline. I feel like weird needs to be above, but we're gonna leave that in its own tier, kind of below here. Anyways, okay. Now we have. I don't really. I can.
Heck yeah!
I don't know if they're crouched down like you're counting for like hide and seek, or if they're. It looks to me like they're just laid on their back with their knees up. It feels like they're doing a yoga pose here.
What the heck? The
I feel like they're getting positioned to just rip a really good one.
if not that, then they're gonna drop a deuce. Seriously, it's one of those.
I honestly don't have much to say about this, other than no.
My question is, are their legs like bent behind their legs, or are they like pulled up, or?
There's not enough indentation here to define what they're doing with their legs, if they're right side up, if they're upside down.
Oh, I know exactly what they're doing.
Is this a woman ready to give birth?
No.
I think this is a woman about to give birth. This is her legs are in the stirrup position.
I've slept like this
not
before.
thinking the same thing I am. While
No. I've actually slept like this before, and I know it actually does feel okay.
Okay, the question is, what are the legs? Are they like bent behind you, or like they?
No, they're like
okay.
scrunched up on your stomach.
The legs are on your stomach.
Yeah, they're like scrunched up.
Yeah.
Like you're in a ball, but your top
Your
half
face
is like
planted.
your arm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
your
top half is
face
face
planted down, and you're like scrunched up.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's never happened to me.
No, never.
Never
Often.
happened. Never, because I have
Never would do that. But
Air-
that
tired, but I've never face planted where my legs are scrunched up and under me. No.
I want to add something to that if you'll let me.
All right.
Well, I don't know why that made me laugh so much, but at first when looking at that thought of something completely else.
Now we know what it looks like. Okay, we all see that. We all see what it looks like. We all see it. We're all like, okay, is this an actual sleeping position, or is this a subliminal message we're looking at? We all see it. Okay, every man, woman, and acceptable person who's old enough to watch the stream knows what that's for.
Mm-hmm.
We all saw it. Terrible. But
My mind is messed up. I'm sorry. I have messed up humor.
Doesn't matter. This is. I'm sorry. I've never heard of this sleeping position. I've never had this ever.
No.
once.
It's not a sleeping position, but I can tell you what else. But I'm not gonna say that on stream.
Once again, I've never slept this way. If I ever fell face first on my bed, my body was extended because.
Okay, I see what Seraphina's saying. And since this is set for 18 plus, it's doggy style.
Oh.
That's what Seraphina's saying.
I didn't even think of that.
Seraphina, you need to seek help.
That was the first thing I thought of.
No.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
No.
You both have gutter brains. Me and Lavender
Y'all
didn't notice
ruining
it.
I don't have a
ruining
gutter brain.
Ruined.
It's just I have a brain
all
that's
ruined.
It's all ruined.
No, I don't have a gutter brain. I knew what it was, but I'm like, this is supposed to be a sleeping position, but I don't know what else. I don't see it though. I don't see this as a sleeping position.
It was sexual.
The other way, yeah, I see it as something you might see in the Kama Sutra. I just don't see it as a sleeping position. That's for sure.
Right?
I do not see this as a sleeping position.
Either way, I don't think I'll ever sleep like that.
I never have.
Hopefully
Well-
the cover's on. Like it doesn't show the covers, but like I would have the covers over me.
Right?
That's the sleeping position Sid had in a toy store where his butt was in the air.
All right, so we have this. This is a little bit more of a common sleeping position, in my opinion.
Oh, it's
And
not.
Yeah, that happens.
I definitely have slept like this before. most of the times I sleep like this whenever I get like really sick. I don't know why. Like I gotta have my legs under the covers, I gotta have my arms above the covers, and I have to be pretty much laying face up. Like it's the only way I can sleep whenever I'm sick.
I actually
Yeah,
don't
that
sleep like
happens.
that when I'm sick. I actually use the first one more often when I'm sick, so I can cover up most of my body. That's the one I sleep with more often though than it happens, because I like to, if I'm in bed and the covers aren't cinched up to my chin, then that's usually my arms are out. That's usually in the summertime or the spring when it's starting to get warmer. And I decide not to turn on my air conditioner because it uses its excessive amount of electricity and it costs money to pay for and stuff. So that's more often for me than it happens.
Lavender.
First,
I usually never sleep on my back, but like if I'm like about to go to sleep, that's like the contemplating what am I doing with my life, staring at the ceiling pose.
You know what?
Man, my
You're
life-
you're not wrong.
And then I fall asleep, like on my back. I turn over, and then like 5 seconds later, I'm out.
Pretty much staring at the ceiling, wondering what you did wrong today and how you could have done better today, and
No, just contemplating life's
Pretty much,
questions like, why? But he poses all the philosophical questions a bit like that. The most important being, why? Why?
K. Por qué?
That's not right. It's not por qué. You're saying of que paso.
Oh, qué peso?
Peso. Donde está la biblioteca?
No.
Donde está rojo biblioteca?
Oy.
I can't tell you how many times my other friend group asked for the library.
Donde está la rojo biblioteca? Donde el amarillo baño?
Alright, so we're going to leave this as the staring into the void position.
I'd say often as well, because I've seen myself doing that when I'm sick or on very hot days.
I mean, I can start in this position, but I never find myself in this position when I wake up.
Nobody ever does.
I like my arms under the cover usually,
People
just because I
start in
like to be
this-
comfortable.
They never end in it.
So a combination of this one
Yeah,
and
at night.
this one.
Yeah,
I
so I don't
think-
bury my face.
Usually we
Right.
start there and we just don't end up there.
But, well,
We end up somewhere else.
with this
I mean, I
one,
used to bury my face. but
it's somebody
I
that
don't
enjoys
anymore.
to smell their own farts.
What?
Yeah. The one that pulls the covers over themselves. I bet they like. It's pretty much them.
I
If they
see
like
the person's head. The cover is not over them. You can
Okay,
see the head.
you're
the
telling me
cover-
their nose is up here then.
No, their chin is. You are a flipping fool.
Anyways, moving on. Okay, so we have the TikTok. We're gonna call it the TikTok
But-
position.
Um,
This
Oh
is
god.
the only time I ever find myself in this position is like if I'm on the phone. I will never sleep in that position.
on the phone. Yeah.
I'd be like,
I
happened.
can't breathe.
Oh yeah, like it was totally like so hot today. He was like totally like in the classroom doing his thing.
Wait. This
Was
is
that
a
weird?
sleeping position?
Oh god, did not Cosmic, please don't tell me.
Who the hell
What?
sleeps like this? Who sleeps like this?
I'm still trying to figure out how you would sleep like that. That's it.
Who
Wouldn't.
sleeps?
So what you do
with
is you
their
dislocate.
leg over-
You have to dislocate your hip and let your leg lay limp over the other leg.
No, I know what it's showing, but still, how do you sleep? How does anybody sleep like that? I've never heard of this sense of sleeping position. I think they're just making crap up.
Well, hold
Yeah,
up now.
let's-
I can
Let's
see
get
my.
a few actual sleeping positions, and then let's just screw around with the guy
Is
with
it
the figure.
you don't like see yourself like you lay down to maybe take. Whoever did that, you. Anyways, you're just sitting down to take maybe like a mid-afternoon nap, like a 10-minute nap. You just kind of prop your head up, and you're listening to your phone. You have listening tunes playing in the background. You're like take just a brief 10-minute nap, and then I could kind of see this working for naps, not for sleeping.
I just can't do it. I don't want to have my leg on top of my other leg when I go to sleep. Just not comfortable. Not to mention, if your hand is where it is, which it shows to be behind his head, your hand's gonna be numb when you wake up.
No, you see, what he's doing is he's digging all of the bad thoughts out of his head while he's sleeping. He just stuck his hand into his head,
No.
and he's kind of just digging around for the bad thoughts, and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna manipulate these thoughts so they're better, or I'm just gonna rip them out. And that's pretty much it.
This is why you buy a dream catcher. All the bad thoughts go away. I had I had 3 dream catchers right next to my bed. So never had bad dreams. Had weird ones, but never bad. Nothing ever bad ever happened. Some odd dreams, but nothing bad ever happened.
Yeah, you dreamt that you were in this sleeping position.
No, I never ever dreamt I was in this sleeping position. This is the weirdest position I've ever seen. It never happens.
I say put it at weird. I say put it at weird.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we haven't heard from Lavender yet.
Never happens.
Not doing it. Put it in weird. I don't like it.
How does
You're
this
not-
one not
you're
end
not
up in
falling
weird?
asleep like that.
This is a weird position to sleep in.
because what else everyone's thinking?
Since weird is one of our things, this is a weird position to sleep in. I have never heard of anybody sleeping in this position ever.
This is definitely the dead body
Flat
position.
on your back.
That's not a dead body
That's the body
position.
bag. No, that's the body bag.
I've done that before.
Okay, maybe that's the dead person position. I mean, once again, there's no covers, so I kind of hate seeing it that there's no blanket.
I mean, I've
What?
done that before.
I mean, if there's a blanket in there, then I'm guessing that it's saying that the blanket's all the way over. I think the only position is your head is a little bit off the pillow, which is just uncomfortable. Nope, the head not on the pillow is wrong anyway, in any way, shape, and form. But if that's
Can I
just
explain
like
something?
the covers are
Okay,
over you and you're laying in that position, that happens a lot.
Go ahead, Serafina.
Often.
So I've actually done this before. It's not that weird, but it's also not often it happens. But it's just a thing. It's like whenever you're tired, you just flop down, and then it's like, okay, I'm lying now. I've done this before many times. I've never slept this way, but I've definitely laying this way many times. I usually throw the blanket over me afterward. There's like been 2 times I've slept like this that I can think of.
What about Lavender? Let's hear what Lavender has to say.
That's basic for me. I think of it as like that's face down, not face up. That's like 90% of me. I'd say always, actually.
Really?
Yeah. If it's face down. If you're facing up, no.
It's face up.
Well, there's really nothing to define face up or down. And yeah, there's really nothing else here to define it. So let's just say it's in this position, but it could be face up or down.
That's no face.
It's kind of creepy.
No. This was creepy. This is pretty much you lay down, plopped, you're not going to move, you're just going to stay there, and reality is just going to work its way around you. The universe can go itself, and I'm just gonna lay here and sleep.
Go back to the one.
Which one?
The one that you said was creepy.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. I still don't see how you'd sleep like that. I'll try it, see if it works. It don't. It probably won't. I'll probably go like, no, I don't want to sleep like this. Eh.
Anyways, moving on. So next up we have I'm gonna
Jumping
call
with
it
joy.
jumping with joy. We'll call it with the jumping with joy position.
I'm
Honestly-
gonna call it flopping.
That is definitely a flop. This isn't quite the flop. This is a flop.
It happens.
So, I mean, it can happen. Yeah, I can definitely say it happens. Cosmic.
I don't know. It seems common, but at the same time uncommon. I'm like a 50-50 on this. Sometimes I've slept like that, literally, because my body just wants to stretch in all directions.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you ever like lay down in that position and be like, "I'm a superhero," while you get ready to fall asleep,
No, because I know I'm not.
or you're like, "I'm at the gym, bro, and I'm lifting weights.
Nope.
Pump
'cause I've
that
never
iron, pump the iron,
Hey,
bro.
I've gone to the gym literally one time in my entire life.
Drink Prime."
Don't, never have, never will. I can get $2 at Casey's with Casey's rewards. I'm not gonna drink it.
So I think we're kind of all in agreement that it happens, but not very often.
Yeah. Okay, now there's not any more that are weird.
All right,
That's off. That happens often.
this is very often. This is definitely the
Yeah.
closer to fetal position for me. Pretty much on those, not so much during the summer, but definitely during the colder months. This is the position for me.
or during breakups.
That's a lot for me. Cold or more months. Just because I just like to get all the covers I can around me and just curl up. And I don't care if it's hot or warm. I really don't care.
I was definitely in that position a lot last week. That's for sure.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry to hear that. All right.
It's
Oh, we didn't-
fine. I'm over it
Oh,
now.
sorry, Lavender. You're being very quiet, Lavender. You know you could speak up. Feel free to do so.
Focusing. I'm about to die.
All right. Okay, which one are you playing? You playing
Playing
Destiny?
Rust.
Destiny, Ark, which one you playing?
Playing Rust.
Rust?
Is it the? Yeah, that's pretty common for me. That's also like kind of half what I do. Covers up, huddled up. It's comfortable.
Hey, it's the common position for all of us that were in the womb. So, you know, it's what our instincts tell us to go back to sometimes. And plus it feels good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's mainly a good position when you're like crying a lot too. So.
Yeah, so I mean, you listen to a lot of Linkin Park when you're ever in a position like this.
How did you know?
Gross.
Well, did you just call Linkin Park gross?
Kinda.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. All right, so we have this position. I can honestly say that I've done this position for short periods while I'm sleeping, but not as a full-time position. I mean, you're laying back. You got one arm underneath the pillow, and you got the rest of your body kind of relaxing. I mean, it's something you do when you need that little extra lift on your head, I guess. So I can honestly say it happens, I guess. What you all think?
I do it with both hands behind the pillow.
That sounded dirty.
How'd that sound dirty?
You do it with both hands behind the pillow.
Oh, no, I sleep that way, but with both hands behind my head.
You kind of see, if it wasn't for the fact that I've got these images
Yeah,
up,
I see it now.
the context here. Context. What do you think, Cosmic? Uh-oh, we lost Cosmic. Go ahead, Serafina.
Oh. I don't know. It happens, I guess.
Well, I don't know what happened to Cosmic.
I literally, sorry, my mood shifted a bit.
It's all good.
My mood shifted a bit because of the last image reminded me of something.
All right, now we have Sun Salutation. This is a stretching position. This is not a sleeping position. How is this a sleeping position? What?
You're doing that on your back. So,
I mean,
Right,
I've
no.
stretched like this, but I don't think I could sleep like this. I can't sleep with my one ankle over the other like that.
no, never, no.
You're like sleeping with your arms over your head. My hands would hit the wall. I can't do that. It's not very comfortable.
I would break the wall. I would break the wall if I did that because there's already a hole in the wall. I don't need to make it bigger. I need to fix my wall. So my bed's on the floor.
What do you think, Lavender? We're gonna call this one Sun Salutation.
That kind of looks weird to fall asleep in. You stay in that position for like 5 seconds. You wouldn't stay there for like an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a stretching in
yeah,
the
like you
morning
said,
pose.
it's a stretch. I ain't asleep. That's weird.
Yeah. Agreed. All right.
Next.
What the hell
Oh
am
my
I looking
God.
at? I'm looking
You're
at
not seeing it on the pillow.
again. This is not a sleeping position. This is a just lay down the bed for a few moments position.
That weird. Weird.
Okay. Unless you're just having like some sort of like fever dreams and you get moved around and like how? I mean,
How?
I mean
Weird.
the dead corpse hanging halfway off the bed makes more sense than this does. I mean, it's
Is that like a suitcase? Why am I seeing a handle on the pillow?
it's the frame
That's
of
part of the bed.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
okay.
bed. It's the bed
I'm
outline.
blind.
So you started off sleeping on your pillow, you kicked it away, and you're like, nah, screw it. I'm gonna lay like this. Now,
That's like if you move in your sleep. Sorry.
or if you feel like your mattress is shifted a certain way, but that's when you flip the mattress or get a new bed. I don't know what happened to Cosmic. I haven't heard anything from him in a little bit. Okay, now we have. Okay. Um,
Oh.
this, ladies and gentlemen, the Subway sandwich is back. Um,
Oh, I need a sandwich. I need a sandwich.
it's a Dakimakura. Come on, it's a body pillow.
Yes. We know exactly what it's that one.
I'm pretty sure I said that phrase right. I don't have to say it very often, but come on. What else could that possibly be?
That
All
the
right, it's
body
Toblerone.
pillow.
Ah. But in all honesty,
We
I
are
ha-
not innocent here. Trust me.
in all honesty though, I have slept where I do take an extra pillow and put it between my legs because it actually helps my spine sometimes. But I don't have a body pillow.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I don't know whether to say. I'm gonna just say it happens, but not in this particular fashion.
Oh, it depends on the context too.
Yeah. I mean, we all know what we're thinking. I mean, we are in the fandom after all. We already have experienced this because fandom.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to say that, it happens. What do you think?
You probably wouldn't catch me doing that. I have one pillow, so
No. But
I'd
I
say
can
never.
see. Now, no, I would never do it, but I know a lot of people do. Yeah, I know a lot of people would.
All right, we shall just go ahead and put that in the never one. And now we have the screaming into the void pillow sleeping position.
That's like a headache.
Pretty much,
You got a
this
headache.
was me when I was in my teens, dealing with two siblings that were always very noisy, with my parents being also very noisy, and I'm trying to sleep because it's a school night. So, this was me quite often during my teen years. Thoughts?
If you're having a
Oh, the pillow's over your
headache,
head.
Mhm.
No,
different.
I don't really do that much.
I've done this when I've had migraines and headaches, so. And I'd like throw the pillow over my face and just like be like, I hate all the noise. Sleep. Yeah, I get the feel. I get those days. I get those days.
Would you say it happens often, or would you say it just happens?
I say it happens because I don't get headaches and migraines often. So it happens if you have a headache or a migraine. But most of the time, I don't see it happening unless, like what you said, you're dealing with noisy siblings or roommates or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Complete strangers in your walls.
Murderers who are set to pounce on you and kill you and throw you half back onto your bed.
No.
Yeah, so you end up like the second image.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess Lavender, what do you say?
Not sleeping like that. So I guess I'm really the noisy one in my house. Which probably surprises you. Wouldn't
Well.
catch me doing that. Probably catch my sister doing that.
Well, I'm never bringing you to a burglary. If we ever have to break into, steal the Venus de Milo or something like that, I'm never bringing you. You can't be quiet.
The Venus de Milo.
It was the first thing that came to mind. Anyways,
I got Mona Lisa. It's more popular.
Anyways, last one. So pretty much, Okay, so you
Pill under your head, and you're holding the normal pillow.
Okay, I don't know if I'd sleep on my sandwich and hold my pillow.
Not a sandwich.
In my mind, it's a sandwich.
Never. Second image and never.
Sandwich, sandwich, sandwich.
Hey, you doing that with a sandwich? You're just weird.
Anyways, okay, we'll say it's the body pillow. I'm sorry, but any body pillow that I've ever had, it's always too soft, and my head just goes right through it to the mattress. So, no. That's not happening.
I have a just blank blue body pillow, but I threw it on top of my bed, and I don't even use it. I've never slept on the thing. I cannot relate to this image at all.
I did it once or twice.
He lives!
Ow. That was loud.
Sorry.
It's alright. So, I mean, for me it's a never, for you it's a never. Cosmic says it happens, then?
It's not often. It's once or twice. Just not often.
I mean, Lavender is a bit indifferent to this because he says he only has the one pillow.
One pillow.
And you've never had one of those full-length body pillows.
Nope.
Okay.
I have though, so.
So
Yeah.
we have a like 1 or 2% of it happens. So I'm going to leave it as it does happen, I guess.
Yeah, 1 or 2% when it just yeah.
So that actually concludes the sleeping positions tier list. And frankly, I have no qualms with this. I do agree with the way we laid things out.
He always is too relatable. Especially since recently.
Okay, for anybody watching this, please comment down below. Do you believe more that in this one, it is a body pillow? Is it a sandwich? Is it a Toblerone? Or do you have other ideas of what it could be?
Don't say other. You will
I know.
regret that.
I know. It's the furry fandom. But anyways, we'll go ahead and conclude this tier list. I'm going to go ahead and get or at least try to without a bunch of ads in the way. Okay, screenshot. Got it. Now, I didn't save this other one, so I gotta figure out which one it was. I gotta figure out where it was. There we go. This is the one. All right. So there comes the ads. Okay, gonna pause you because I don't want to deal with you.
Here comes the ads.
Let me go ahead and zoom in. There we go. All right. Now for part 2 of our tier list. Wow, Why the hell is Godly on there? Godly, fun, good, all right, okay, bad, terrible, F minus. So we're gonna rate this tier list on our personal experiences in each subject of school. Granted, with not just by what grades we got, but how much we enjoyed it. So
Okay.
Oh, great school.
first off would be art and design. I will let Lavender
Well-
go first on this.
Art, the regular teacher sucked. She was really boring. I only did it in grade school, so I don't have that much of a memory of it. But she was really boring. But whenever we got a sub, it was always the same guy, and he was really chill and really fun. He would always tell us to sit on our seat and not on our feet, and he would always do the rhyme, and everyone would be like, "Do the rhyme, do the rhyme, do the rhyme." It was funny. I give it a B for the sub. That made the whole
So,
class.
so you would say good or all right then?
Yeah. Forgot word words.
All right. All right. Cosmic, you're up.
I hated art and design because it was never fun. We always had to do the same thing that everybody else was doing. You couldn't just do your own thing. And you couldn't take time. You had to finish stuff quickly. You had to. That's not. No, it's not good. It sucked. I hated the class because I didn't care for the teacher. She was like a billion years old, and you always had to do the same thing. You could never take time to ever get your work done. You had to finish your work now. Do it now. And it's like I'm trying to make it look good, but no. They didn't want it to look good. They could have cared less. So for me, I mean, I would love the class. I could just, make my work, made my, work look good instead of having to rush through everything. I mean, nobody else had, what was her name? Something, something Polish.
Right.
I don't remember who it was. But yeah. Also, she hated Garfield, so I had a particular dislike for her. So
So
I don't
your
like-
overall experience, you would probably say bad or terrible then.
I would say bad. It's the same crap with art in high school, which I took for 1 year, which is why I didn't take art 2, because the first one was dumb and stupid. Instead of actually drawing, you learned about certain art things. I'm like, I don't care about shading, and I don't really care about perspective. I'm never gonna do this. It's just not gonna make me. I'm not gonna make a living drawing things in perspective. I'll just watch somebody else do it on YouTube. So probably bad for me. It's just
All right. Serafina?
Okay. First question. Is the stream showing the Discord right now?
No.
Okay. Let me just grab this really quickly. It was a graduation gift. And take a gander of what my favorite subject was.
How much did that cost?
I don't know. But I love art. Okay. I'm sorry. That's the only that's the subject I would always try and get just because I literally switched out it in like junior for art.
I had good teachers. I probably liked art too.
So
I had decent teachers.
So your overall experience, how would you say it was?
I will admit there were times where the teacher would be but most of the time I enjoyed what I was doing. And I also loved doing animation for 1 year because that was fun. and I have all my animations still saved on my phone that I did. Not that good, but still. And I I had decent teachers because my high school only had 2 art teachers in the entire building, so you either got one or the other, and they were both decent people.
We had two. One was decent, but the other one was not made for art.
They both were friendly. One was a little bit stricter than the other, and the other one was kind of funny with what he would do. So
One was strict and friendly. The other one
Against
was
you.
awkward in every situation.
I personally, because it will forever be one of the best subjects that I loved for my entire school year that I've had in my life.
I just had better
And
teachers.
since I am done, as I am done with school now, I will always look back on most of my memories for school will be probably the stuff I did in art. So I have to put fun on that one.
All right, that moves it up a little bit. My experiences in art, going all the way back to grade school, I was never very creative, and I was one of those kids where art was always a struggle. If I was copying something, I would kind of work with it, but if I was told make something completely imaginative, go wild, go free, no holds barred, I would only be able to create the most simplest and basic of things. When we did it back in second grade, I do remember, we did the whole make like clay pots and clay mugs for our parents and whatnot. You know, the hardest part of making something like that, making a coffee mug, is always the handle. Mine was, I would, for some reason, the only way I could get it to work was I flattened out a disc for the bottom of the mug, then I laid out the clay flat on the table, and then I rolled that around the base of the what was supposed to be the mug. I would put a cylinder, if you would, around the base, and then I would poke 2 little holes with my pencil in the side of the mug, then try to feed that through. Now, on paper, it sounds like it works. In reality, it looked like a pile of shit. Now, fast forward to 4th grade, and I won't take up too much time on this. In 4th grade, it was during Thanksgiving. Now, we were back in grade school, we would have these fun little projects where we would color them, and they'd get hung up around the wall around the classroom. We had corn cobs and turkeys. I managed to get my little hand turkey, because that's how we used to do it. We put our hand on a little piece of paper, trace it out, and cut it out. I managed to do that with okayness in using 2 colors, because again, not very creative. Then it came time to cut out the corn cobs. Corn cobs were on this pre-manufactured sheet of poorly Xeroxed paper that you used to get, and you gave you those, those plastic scissors that can't cut anything, no matter how hard you try. And I went through, and I'm not kidding. I had to cut out my corn cob 3 times because I kept cutting off the wrong. When following the lines, rather than cutting off where the ear or the leaf stalk that surrounds the cob, I kept cutting the husk off on the one side, because rather than paying attention, I was just cutting the line. I was following the line up the corn cob rather than cutting off around the husk. And after the third time, the teacher says, let's just tape it. We're going to hang it anyways. Fast forwarding it to the last time that I had any interaction with art and school. 7th grade. We were doing mosaics with stained glass. Not actual glass, it was
Oh dear.
like film glass. We were told to make a quote-unquote stained glass window. The trick was we had to use these pieces of plastic, cut them out. We was given multiple sheets in multiple different colors. We was able to grab any color we wanted and lay them out in any pattern we wanted. Obviously, looking around, I see a few people making these intricate designs, cutting out little tiny diamonds and whatnot, putting inlaid, like, these very intricate models into their windows. I took about 6 squares and cut 6 squares, smaller squares to fit inside this frame. And then we were supposed to take kind of this epoxy, this non-toxic epoxy, mind you, and lay it in there. Me and one other person laid the epoxy in, and it didn't stick. Everyone else was able to get theirs done. Me and that one other person stayed in the class for 2 more times, and we still couldn't get the epoxy to stick. And the teacher was like, why can't you get this to work? And we're like, we don't know. And it wasn't even our fault. The epoxy that we were using wasn't dry. It was good. But for some odd reason, for us, it just didn't work. So, after a while, we gave up. The teacher just gave us a C because she saw how we were struggling. My experiences in art is I love art. I do not love making art. In the sense of where you draw and paint and stuff like that with your hands and whatnot.
Yeah.
My experiences with school and art wasn't that great. And it was there was a lot of peer pressure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it was on the borderline between okay and bad. I do apologize that I took a while on those stories, but there was a
Oh my gosh,
reasoning.
is it over?
What's that?
Oh my gosh, is it over yet?
Right.
Good story.
Now,
I'm the opposite because I love to do things with art and everything. Okay, you got me on this one. I never did woodworking.
I had two semesters with woodwork, and honestly, it was better than art. I really don't have much else to say about it. I don't really have any good stories to go along with it either. So I'll leave this up to either Lavender or Cosmic.
Never done it.
Yeah, because like I said, I never do it.
I didn't do woodworking in school, but like outside of school, where you still build stuff with wood. Sometimes because a lot of times I had some of these little sets that we come in the mail. And it come like with like it was attached to like a magazine subscription that came with it.
Oh.
And I love those. Those were fun. I loved putting them together.
Okay.
But it wasn't actually working with wood. It was just taking your really flimsy pieces of balsa wood and sticking socket A into socket B and all the way through whatever letter, and you made a dinosaur, or you made a butterfly, or so it wasn't really woodworking more than it was just more like putting things together. So I really can't say all right, bad, okay, fun. But if that had been part of it, was good in my opinion. I mean, I think I broke one of the sets because once again, balsa wood. So, but for the ones that I did put together, that was it was enjoyable time. It was good. I don't even remember what most of the sets were anymore. Two I said, dinosaur, butterfly. Those were two of them.
Right.
Don't remember any of the other ones though.
Before you go to the next one, Cosmic actually just reminded me of something that is outside of school that does involve woodworking.
Okay.
My grandpa used to get me like these sets of like wood things from like I think it was like a store like Lowe's or something, and he and me would put them together. So it would like assist me, and so I'd say it was fun what they looked like. It was fun to build them. Looking back at the projects now, modern day, looking at them, they look weird.
Well, I mean, the woodworking part of this is basically what you would have experienced in school.
I know. I've not experienced it in school because I didn't take a
Right.
class for that.
But
I do have some experience.
right, and
Woodworking itself.
it's a good story.
I mean, I didn't take any shop classes or anything, so.
Fair enough. We'll just leave it at all right, based on what we know and have experienced. I mean, we all enjoy building things to an extent. I mean, Minecraft is a prime example of that for some of us.
Legos.
Yep.
Actually, I take that back. I mean, Lavender has built a lot, but I think Lavender is more focused on speedrunning than he is building.
I need to get back on the Minecraft world and finish what I'm doing.
Anyways, before I get, I do
busy
apologize. That's my
stuff.
fault. I shouldn't let us get sidetracked. Anyways, moving on. Computing. So we
I hate it.
Okay, now before we jump the gun here. Now, computing is obviously referring to learning about computers, the internal designs, and don't see. Let's go ahead and say web design as well. In terms of learning how to program websites, how to program, work on computers, etc. So, based on that knowledge, I'll let Lavender go first.
Fine, but can I go after?
All right.
In middle school, we did take like a tiny little class that was learning a little bit of like this weird freaking really kids like program that's sort of like Python. But basically everything I've done with the computers is what I've learned from my dad, so I really don't have experience again with computing in school. But I know my way around a computer. That's about all I can give you.
So, what would you rate your experience as?
Oh, well, that class was fun. So I'd say good or fun in the middle.
All right. Seraphina?
I'm the opposite. I took a tech class and it was boring as hell.
Well, okay.
It
What did this class cover exactly?
It covered like what you said, entering of computers, making websites and stuff. The only time we did anything fun was a very short little game like we could make on Scratch, but I never even got to finish mine. I didn't even finish the freaking models. It was like didn't get enough time to finish it. And also I hated it. It was so boring.
Well, we'll move that down a few tiers then.
I love using a computer. I don't love messing with how one works. I'm sorry.
Now, in terms of computing, I did take a semester of web page design. It actually taught me a lot. I don't remember a lick of it, but it did teach me a lot. in terms of the coding and whatnot that goes behind web pages. And we all have access to the web page codes. We just have to hit that right F key. I forget which one it is, but if you hit the correct F key, it will show you the coding for each web page.
I believe that's 6.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really manipulate it. I mean, it's set. Anything you do to it will not change the actual, the server or whatever it's devoted on, but at least you can...
client-side stuff you can do with YouTube.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I learned, like I said, I learned a lot from there, and a lot of times we had aside from learning the basics, we did have the option, free will for designing our own temporary website. And honestly, the most embarrassing part of taking web page design was I was the only one in there that didn't have an email because we didn't have access to a home computer yet. Yeah, I'm that old. We only had one computer in the house, and it was specifically for the business, for my dad's business. And we couldn't use it for anything else. So I had to come up with an email address, which I didn't even use that one. I don't use that one today anyways. It's out there somewhere. I don't remember what it was now. But yeah.
Just have an email that exists that you've forgotten about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't even remember what I put it down as. But everyone else, it was going through the class, and the teacher was asking everybody their email address, and everyone was like, at Hotmail or at Yahoo or at Gmail, and I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? And the teacher's like, all right, what's your email address? I'm like, do you not have an email? No. And the class is just like, and most of the classroom is like doing that weird look at you like you're an idiot thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you took web page design and you don't even have an email address? No. And don't you just love being the center of attention for those kinds of things?
No.
I mean, otherwise, aside from that, once we got going, I actually had a pretty decent time in web page design. So, I'm gonna say it was all right. It wasn't bad. And now, Cosmic. The big sigh.
I absolutely loved computing. It was one of my favorite classes. I loved everything we did there. I mean, first before 7th grade, it was called Future Kids, and it was just kind of learning some of the basic stuff like how to use Excel and PowerPoint and Word, stuff like that. And I remember one of the things we did was to make your own lemonade stand sign. It was the funniest sign ever. It was really very generic, had some of that clip art stuff you had. Said lemonade, and we could put, a slogan or something on it. My slogan said lemonade, and then below it in smaller text said, don't ask us where it came from. So, because lemonade is that color, so don't ask us where it came from. Anyway, that was probably the best sign ever. But after Future Kids was over, which was all the way up to 6th grade, where they're teaching you how to use Excel and Excel spreadsheets and worksheets and stuff like that. We got into 7th grade, and 7th and 8th grade, at the end of the day, you had an elective you could choose. And there was one that was like conservation. You went out and explored nature and whatnot. And another one was like board games, which I signed up for that one my 7th grade year. And one was
you learned Mario teaches typing?
No. The board games one was actual board games like chess, checkers, backgammon, all that stuff. That was one. That was the elective I had for 7th grade. But 8th grade had a computer class elective, so we learned about computers and operating systems and kind of the whole internal workings of the computer. And in the last big end of the year project for that class, because those were semester things, so I don't remember what I did for the second semester. Something that was easy that I could pass. So for that second half of that, so for that semester, our big end of the year project was to build a computer. Everybody in the class had certain different things to get. So they'd pair us off with 2 or 3 other people, and between us, we would actually buy the parts online. The school would pay for it, of course, but we buy the parts online, the parts that were, top of the line if we could get it. And then we would build the computer, and that computer would be gifted to a teacher. And that would actually be the teacher's computer. It wouldn't stay at the school. That teacher got the computer and could take it home. And I remember that the one that we built was for one of my favorite teachers, Mrs. Schillinger. She was a 6th grade homeroom teacher. When you went through, she was, let's put a 6th grade teacher. When you went through school, there were teachers that some of them taught different subjects specifically, and some of them were taught all subjects. 6th grade, Schillinger was mainly an English teacher. English language arts, spelling, that kind of thing. But anyways, we built her computer because she said she had the oldest computer there. She was without a doubt one of the oldest teachers in the school. She got a computer at the end of the year. I'm sure she loved it. I don't know how many years ago that it probably went kaput, because back then we were still using desktops. But also in 8th grade, our IT guy, Gary Sir was his name. Gary, I'm sure you're not watching this. I know he's still out there somewhere, but he was our IT guy. He was a fantastic IT guy. He was the maintenance IT guy, because we had other maintenance guys like janitors and stuff that would fix the toilet and whatnot, but not Gary. He was the IT guy. And he established a tech club during my 8th grade year. If you wanted to join tech club, like once or twice a week, actually I think it was once a week, one day after school, once a week, you would stay for another hour after school just to work on computer stuff. And that's exactly what we did. In fact, one week we had actually taken out the original hard drive and deleted the operating system out off of some of our actual school computers. Back then we didn't have laptops, we still had desktops, and we were working on, there was like 5 of us in the class, there wasn't a whole bunch of us, but we actually had taken off the original operating system computer and actually were installing a new operating system that was in the beta testing. I don't know what the operating system became or if it ever even made it, but back then it had a pretty cool name. It was called Longhorn. It had 2 different versions. There was Strauss version and the Knoppix version. Strauss was set for speed. Knoppix was was more performance based. So if you have a computer like that, like now, some are better performing, other ones are faster. But beyond that, I mean, I've really got way off tangent and off on track. But I loved computing, without a doubt. One of my favorite classes, learning about computers, just messing with it. I mean, I took every computer class I could in college. It didn't always work out that well, but I loved computer class. I loved making web design, working with websites and building stuff like that, because we did all sorts of stuff like that. It was one of my favorite classes.
Nice.
Sorry, I get real off on a tangent, but yeah, I loved computing class.
Next up, we have science. Science! Now,
Was I the only one that had a bad experience with computing?
Well, okay. I mean, obviously, For anybody who lived through the 90s, when you hear the word science, immediately you go to one thing. Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill. But you know what?
I played that a lot.
There were highs and lows in science for me. Overall, I love science in certain areas. Overall, science was okay, but, like, okay, if we're talking about, you know, actual, like, science, studying magnets and, you know, the weather and whatnot, I like that part. If we're studying the body and we're studying bacterias and organisms, I kind of lose focus. There are several things I could talk about in science, but I don't want to run up our clock's kind of running kind of thin right now. So, overall, I'm just going to get right down to it and say science was good for me. Cosmic?
It was okay. I had one bad teacher through all my science classes. Otherwise, it didn't really matter. It was class. I wasn't interested, but I wasn't disinterested. I was just kind of present. Except for that one class.
Mm-hmm. Serafina?
I had a teacher that once blew a hole into the ceiling.
That's an interesting story.
Okay, so her class, she was kind of doing like, I think it was like chemical something. I don't remember completely. All I know is that a lot of times people are like, well, there's a hole in the light. And I'm like, okay, how did that happen? They're like, oh, Miss Wolf blew a hole in the light. And I'm like, she did what? Also, if she ever watches this, I did not just call you out. I'm sorry. But I doubt you would. But yeah, it's just like, I find science for me, it's a mixed bag because I've had some enjoyable classes and then I've had some like biology that I found kind of boring-ish, but I had a good teacher for biology. And he never made us dissect frogs, so I'm glad for that. Ugh, God. But overall, for science, it's like if we're doing stuff that are actual experiments, it's fun. But if you're just doing like a lot on paper, like watching videos and taking notes, it's a mixed bag for me. Though I did have some enjoyable experiences, so I'd put it on probably I'd put it good, not quite fun. It just depends.
All right. Lavender?
Up until last year, science was really, really, really boring. It was that class where you just sat there and take notes on a stupid video about whatever the heck. But last year we made like ice cream from scratch and all that crap, so that was pretty fun. I put it at like okay.
Did you get to work with the cold stuff?
Yes.
What is that
Actually, didn't-
cold
didn't most
stuff?
of the ice, but-
Ice and cream.
Who's cold stuff?
You
What are we talking
know,
about here?
it's the stuff that's not Freon. It's not nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin's not cold. I know it's more of an explosive. I don't work with nitroglycerin. Don't get any ideas.
FBI,
Ice?
your house.
No, it says stuff that comes in a canister that used in food. You can
Soylent Green?
What?
What?
Soylent Green? What the f?
That's what I said. So it agrees people.
Dry ice?
No. Liquid nitrogen.
No, we didn't use that.
Oh.
We used ice.
Yeah.
Oh
liquid-
yeah, dry ice. That's a fun thing. Ow. The
So,
memory.
anyways, continue, Lavender.
I put it in okay.
Okay. All right. That pretty much
Why did
balances to
Anatomy.
science was all right.
'Cause we didn't do crap in anatomy. We watched football.
Oh, I know which teacher you had.
Yeah. He's a okay, my anatomy teacher in high school, who's also who's also cousin of mine. He was our teacher, and he's taught. The rule was at the school, if you were a coach of a sport, you also had to be a teacher of a class. You didn't have to be a teacher of just one class, which he was. He'd be a teacher of several classes. Like, I know Bruns was a basketball coach, but he taught math and science. My cousin, his name was Todd, he taught anatomy, but he was also the football coach. So a lot of times we ended up watching films of football in class. We got graded for it too, for just watching football.
He also taught ecology.
Yeah.
Just turning in homework and watching football. That was the most stuff we did. And he never taught ecology. That wasn't a class in high school.
Yeah, it was.
Well, he didn't teach it because I think I would have known.
It was my freshman year.
Or he
Yeah,
stopped teaching it after your freshman year, apparently.
Anyways, moving on. So, Lavender, yeah, you gave us your opinion on science already. I think. Yeah, you did. You did. I think. Yes.
Everybody gave
Never touched dry ice directly.
You're gonna have to help me out. What is PSHE?
PSHE?
Look that up.
I don't really understand what kind of study this is supposed to be. I feel like I should know it, but I'd have never went. Is it like a psychology class or?
It's in England.
Okay. So we're skipping this one then.
PSHE stands for Personal, Social, Health, and Economic Education. It's a school subject curriculum. It's a school curriculum subject in England that teaches young people through all key stages, knowledge, and skills for life during and after education. So what it sounds to me like is the class that should be offered in America that teaches you common sense, which nobody in America has.
Well, the only thing we have to relate to this is health class.
That-
I
that-
hated
heck no.
health class. It
Yeah,
needs to
health
burn
class-
in
no.
hell.
We don't have health class. That's not a class.
We did.
If we had, well, no, I mean we had health class, but it didn't teach you anything about health at all whatsoever. It was closer to a science class than anything. So this
Yep.
PSHE that we should have in America, because it teaches us knowledge and skills for life during and after education through all stages. We need that. That's the common sense class that we should have that we don't.
Well, we're going to
I mean-
label this one as health class, and
No,
I'm
Wait,
giving it
scroll
a
down just
bad.
to make sure.
it's
Scroll
not-
down just to make sure that there's not a health class already.
I mean, the closest thing is PE, but we're going to go over that here in a little bit. These three at the end, CAD/CAM, religious studies, and textiles, we're not going over that.
PSHE isn't a health class though. It has nothing like health.
All right, I'll just set it down here then.
It's just not a health class. It's actually a
Um,
class we should have.
Okay, this next
Food
one
prep
is
like
going to be labeled
all,
as the cooking class.
Food and nutrition.
Okay. I want to actually say something about this because those were the last classes I did before I graduated.
Go ahead.
I actually loved to cook, and it actually was fun. The pros, it was fun to use the ingredients, it was fun to cook, and most of it tasted very good. However, there is one downside. Dishes are a bitch. If you were a prep cook, you would hate yourself in class. But I do love it.
Did you
So I
say
just think they fun.
fishes or dishes?
Dishes.
Both.
Dishes. Like plates.
Gotcha.
One's in the sink, dude.
I mean, if
But yeah,
is-
I enjoyed both of them that
Go
I
ahead.
took. I enjoyed both the cooking classes I took last year, and they were fun. I definitely like it.
All right, Cosmic.
The food nutrition one, it was okay. I put it at the wrong time of right. I got the class scheduled at the wrong time of day. But I mean, they mess around with school schedules, and my freaking sophomore year. So yeah, started in this mini block thing. So I wasn't prepared for that. If you have a food and nutrition class, you make sure to schedule it not right after lunch and not right before your last class of the day. All I gotta say.
Oh, do you want to know how mine were scheduled? Kind of funny.
Go ahead.
So mine were actually scheduled. I had 2 periods of them, same year. Same semester. I had a global food before lunch in 4th period. And after lunch 6th period, I had culinary. So I literally took it before and after lunch. Same teacher. She saw me twice a day every time.
I swear.
My group in my group was better in 6th. The kitchen I had was better in 6th period than it was in 4th. I got annoyed by those people.
What about you, Lavender?
Yeah.
Cooking at school, not at home. Cooking at school blew total balls.
You sound like you have had a few initial bad experiences there.
They partnered me with somebody that had no idea what a kitchen was, apparently. And just did nothing for us. And of course you had to have a partner, and most of the stuff you had to be you gotta be quick about it. You gotta cook it.
Oh yeah.
And he wasn't helping. So I'm 1 minute like a hot chocolate or something. And then he gets to friggin' drink it too. It's stupid.
So the person who didn't know how to microwave water.
Yes. Yep.
I'm not even going as far to say, hey, he didn't even know how to boil water. I'm saying he didn't even know how to put water into a cup and put it in the microwave and hit start.
Probably didn't even know it was called a microwave.
Put toast. He put Pop-Tarts in the oven.
Oh no.
Yeah.
In the wrapper.
No.
No.
That class was not fun just because of that one.
That's
that
just
one
a
guy.
nuke at that point.
I forget his name, but
It's like he can't even he reads the instructions on the Pop-Tart box and still can't figure it out.
He's just like, dude, that's good enough.
Somebody gives him a picture book that shows exactly how it's done. He's still having a difficult time figuring it out. Somebody's doing it for him and he has no idea what's going on. My favorite food class at school was lunch.
my mom did tell me to get off 10 minutes ago, so I'm gonna have to be as quiet as I can so I don't get caught again. All right.
Okay, we're gonna try to wrap this.
No, you don't have to be quiet.
Yeah, that's right. It's a habit. If you start talking quiet, I'm gonna start talking quiet. But yeah, so we're talking about the person who anything that says instant they think is you can eat it right out of the box.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh man, Lavender, you just reminded me because of my. If we were just gonna talk about freaking the people we had, okay then. I'll tell you about my first kitchen group I visited. There was one person that was decent and knew what he was doing, and then you had the two, what I call them, mucking idiot, who at the time didn't know what they were doing. And the first thing we did was blow up cream cheese in the microwave and make a mess.
You what?
I didn't do it.
Did
One
I
of
hear you
them did.
correctly? You put
They blew up cream cheese in the microwave.
how the f did you do that?
I didn't do it. They did. I don't know. I had to clean it.
It's because you're an
God
idiot.
damn.
You take your chicken patty that you cook in the oven at 20 minutes and you put it in the microwave for 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Look. I'm willing to accept the fact that sometimes I don't put the popcorn on the right setting and I end up overcooking it sometimes in the bag. But I have never, ever blown up cream cheese in my microwave. I swear, that is... I'm sorry, I'm having a tough time understanding this. Even more so than the person who eats instant rice right out of the box.
I had to clean it. Trust me. I was mad at both of them because I'm like, which one of you idiots did this?
Anyways, we better move on before I give myself an aneurysm. All right, we have environmental science. Now, this is a real course. We took environmental science. This is based on, learning about going green, etc. like that. I had one course with this, and it was as boring as hell. I'm sorry. I don't really have anything good to say about it.
I don't either because I don't think I ever took it. Maybe it was called something else, but I don't remember. I don't remember ever talking about going green.
It's pretty much earth science.
Yeah, I never took earth science. I took regular science like a normal person.
Lavender?
I don't think I took this class. I'm trying to remember. I don't think we had this class. We had something similar. It's called like Core Plus. Something stupid.
If it was anything like mine, it was as boring as can be. Because, frankly, if you don't know about plants, if it's a course, if you want to learn how long, plants live and anything beyond photosynthesis. I mean, we pretty much learned everything we needed to learn about the environment from Bill Nye when he, showed us how tectonic plates work. So we're gonna go ahead and move on past this one because I don't think there's really much to talk about here.
But I didn't even say anything on it.
Do you have anything to add?
Let's see. It's like environmental science.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
any course that was related directly to the environment or the earth.
Does weather count?
Not exactly. That would have just been in
well,
science.
I did learn about. I do learn about environment stuff, but all I can say is it was just a lot of note taking, so I didn't really pay attention much in that class.
Fair enough. Moving on, we have drama class. I loved drama class. I was in 3, 2. I can't remember now. I was in Joseph the Colorful Dreamcoat. I was in 3. That's right. We did Charlie Brown. We did Joseph and the Colorful Dreamcoat, and it was kind of a Princess and the Pea knockoff. And I was apparently the stand-up comic, if you can believe that, during that one. I was the one between curtain closings. Cosmic can remember that one.
Yep. I remember all 3 of those, in fact.
Yeah, but you weren't a stagehand until after the Charlie Brown one, I think.
I was a stagehand for Joseph. Yeah, that was the first one.
Yep.
Your last one I was a stagehand for, and then I was a stagehand for... Actually, I was only a stagehand because I was asked to be a stagehand.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't even care. Didn't care about going to the auditorium, watching it, but I was actually asked to help.
You did good.
Well, Candy asked me to help. Somebody else is doing the job. Anyway, but yeah, that's the one I remember your really crappy, no-nonsense joke. Don't worry about it.
I think that's what kind of started me down the comedic pun path.
That wasn't a pun. That was a stupid joke. It had no meaning. There was no punchline. It was a
Okay,
stupid
okay.
joke.
Let's
Make
just
it-
see. Let's see what Lavender and Serafina think about this joke. Okay. Now, you're flying through the ocean and your wheel falls off. How many pancakes does it take to get to the moon?
What?
7, because ice cream doesn't have wheels.
Close.
What?
Purple,
close,
because
isn't it?
ice cream doesn't have any bones.
Dang it! It
Oh,
was similar to
shh.
that, bro.
Shh. Don't yell. Don't yell.
I'm
They're gonna-
yelling. I'm sorry.
You're gonna get.
That's so stupid. That makes no
She's across
sense.
the house.
See, I
She's
told
across the
you.
house.
That's what I
Fine.
said. It's not funny. It's stupid.
Makes no sense.
Exactly my point. That's what I said.
Of course, the only thing I had problem with during that time was we did a play on Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. On the Saturday night play, there was a heckler who had been there for all 3 shows, and they went up and said, "Hey, don't you have some different jokes?" And I can't
Did
remember
they
the
think
exact
it's-
words I said to him, but apparently the audience loved it.
Was it like a? Did he think that we were a traveling troupe? Oh my gosh!
Is that what I
Hey,
said?
well, got any better jokes? Hey, got any better life? Probably not. Your life sucks, huh? Fatty big fat pants over here, folks.
No, I didn't say that.
Take it. You two knew
Hey,
each other
who's
for
that-
a long time.
Who's that whale sitting next to you?
Right. Actually, I don't think any of these plays will be found on YouTube.
No, they won't.
It'd be
If
nice
they
if they
are-
were.
It's obscure, but I mean, I'll search for it. I doubt it's gonna be there.
Yeah, it would have been during 2003, 2004, and 2005.
Yeah, if it's on there, I'll let you know, but I doubt it highly.
Anyways, but yeah, from my experiences in drama, it was fun. And Cosmic, your experiences with drama, since I know you were part of it.
No, I really prefer being behind the scenes because, okay, some people aren't super crazy about basketball, but here in our little town of Pinckneyville, it's a pretty big deal. Some people aren't really super concerned about it. I'm kind of mildly. I like when this year the Celtics won. I like that. That's cool. But at this time, we had this was the playoffs are always in March. And there's this thing that goes on in March called March Madness. It's all about basketball. And not only does the NBA participate in March Madness, so do the colleges, the NCAA. So we always knew when things were going on. We always knew when there was a scene change, when props needed to move around. So, in the old school, since the school that we used to have has been torn down and rebuilt, and it's probably much nicer inside. I've never been inside it once. But anyways, the auditorium was on the 3rd floor of this old school, and there was a fire escape out the back door. There were 2 back doors, fire escape down both of them. It was an old rickety piece of crap, but it held up. I mean, it was wrought iron, so spend every last dollar on a fire escape when you do. But in between scenes, or not in between scenes, during scenes, we would rush down the fire escape, rush over to the band building, which was like right there. Once you hit the ground level, the band building was maybe 60 feet away at most, probably less than that though, now I think about it. And we'd rush over there, and we had the big screen TV that was probably 1 billion years old, but it was a big screen TV. It worked perfectly, no lines or anything. We go over there and we'd watch the basketball game that whatever college was playing at that time. Whether it was Duke or North Carolina or whoever, we'd just be watching the basketball game before the next scene started. And about 2 to 3 minutes before there was a scene change, we'd rush out of the band room, rush back up the fire escape, back into the back rooms where, the cast and crew changed costumes and move sets and stuff out. And then the curtain would close. We'd move our stuff out there. and then we get back, and the scene would start, and depending on how long the scene was, we would do the same exact thing, rinse and repeat. Run down the fire escape, run to the bathroom, watch the game, go back up the fire escape, switch the scene. Scene starts, depending on length, we do it just over again. Rinse and repeat for 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row, because that is how we got out of class and also watched basketball.
So you're gonna say fun then?
Oh, I had a blast. I had a blast being on the crew of 3 different ones. Had a blast. I had so much fun. I'm never gonna forget those days. They were good. Also, you forgot to tell them on Saturday night. Saturday night was kind of our what's the word?
Lax, I guess.
Gap kind of a night. We would certain members would actually make accidents on purpose. Like for Joseph the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I remember this one particularly. Was it John Stewart was the big guy, one of the brothers? John something.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyways, he was kind of a big guy. He's not like fat, but just like built big.
Oh yeah.
And he purposely sat near the back of the seat he was on during the song.
Oh gosh, I remember that.
Fell backwards. If you're on the cast and you're not paying attention, you hear boom. But he hit the back of the floor on purpose, and being a big guy, wood floor, everybody heard it.
Oh, it was right in the middle of the song too.
Yeah, right in the middle of the song, he falls backwards off it on purpose. It was funny as heck. The best thing ever. It was a great day. That was always only and always on Saturday nights, and usually Saturday nights we were packed because of that reason, because it'd become a running gag every year. Can't remember what we did the last year. I can't remember what we did the last year. Darn it. Anyway,
didn't you do like
the last thing that I don't remember the gaff we had, unfortunately. I know what we did every year. First year was Joseph. The second year, which I didn't participate in because I was busy with other stuff, was 42nd Street. Then we did the pajama game. Then we did Kiss Me Kate.
I thought you did Oklahoma.
We never did Oklahoma. Nope, never did Oklahoma.
Huh.
I know in they've done years after me, they did the Shrek musical, but I think they've done Grease as well. I think they've gone back to Bye Bye Birdie again. But we never did Oklahoma, as far as I know.
Right. Anyways, Serafina and or Lavender, did either of you experience the drama plays or not?
I did it in like 2nd grade, and I
We
got
all-
like a main part. It was actually pretty freaking funny. Oh, I was rooting to be the wolf in Red Riding Hood. It's crazy that my furry stuff goes the way back then, because I wanted to be the wolf so bad. And I got it, and I didn't realize what the script is so freaking long. And I had to learn all that and memorize it, and I only messed up once. I thought it was fun. It was just like a little play for the parents to watch. That was about it.
Yeah, I think about it, we had to do that too in music class. But
Sarah-
that was a long time ago. Luckily, I didn't have to do it after that. I didn't have because you had to participate through 5th grade. But once you were in 6th grade, if you didn't, you had band and chorus. So much better than music class. I hated music class. I had to participate in 3 of those plays, and I don't remember my part in the second one. I remember my part in the first one, which I hated. I remember part in my last one, which was much better, but I don't remember my part in the second one at all. Part in the first one, I was just another rando kids that were, said to say a few lines, and then the whole thing went on. I never heard that story ever before. So, anyway, second one, like I said, I don't remember anything about it at all. The third one, I was a butler. My name was Jeeves, had one line in the whole thing. I said it twice. The word was borders. Borders. So, and the thing that borders are, it's like this fancy hand finger food kind of thing. Like I find out things like a little sandwich thing that rich people eat. I don't know what it's made out of. Don't really care. But my word was borders. So I said it twice. It was about actual like skateboarding and rollerblading and stuff like that. That's not. It wasn't like about the food. It was. We were interrupted by music and stuff like that. So.
All right. Serafina, anything to add?
Drama.
Not personal life drama.
Obviously not.
Theater.
Yes, the theater.
Okay. So this is going to probably be shocking. Never took a single drama class in my life.
Not shocking.
Or watched a single school play.
Well,
not shocking.
Keep in mind too, like if you would have experienced this through grade school at least, where you had to sing in front of your parents and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm not one who likes to sing in front of people, especially large crowds. I get overwhelmed.
So Spotlight is not for you then?
No, it's not. I prefer not to be in Spotlight. If I was doing like behind the scenes, maybe that's a different story. But Spotlight, no, heck no.
What is?
Well, unfortunately, we are out of time for the evening. We can't really spend time covering everything else for the night. But hopefully you've enjoyed the stories from this wonderful group that we've had here tonight. We thank you once again for joining us here on the Omega Republic. We thank you for joining us on these tier list escapades. We thank Cosmic, Lavender, and we thank Serafina for their insight and experiences with these things. We hope
I wish we could have continued this because I'd had funny stories and some other subjects down there.
Well, maybe we will continue this on our next tier list escapades. But for now, we're going to call it for the evening. And we thank you for joining us here on the Omega Republic. We hope to see you here next time.